So if you want to use a stick for your own check-in, you're welcome to grab that. I will go without mine. If you also are going without your stick, you can use your breath or any other method you become accustomed to bring yourself into your body. Eyes can remain open or you can close them if you'd like. Simply starting the process of preparing ourselves to engage with our bodies. To attend to any body parts or feelings that might impact what it is that we're going to try to do. And always, always, always releasing any tension that is not required. Remaining patient. Especially if it seems like things aren't going the way you want. Or your body's not responding the way you typically expect. Just knowing we can have those days too. As we unload that tension, we can feel ourselves getting taller, feeling more aligned, more connected. Unhindered. And anticipating the ability to move freely. Maybe even considering how it's going to impact what you need to do the rest of this day. Your eyes are closed, you can open them. You do have a stick, you can place that off to the side. And with just the right arm only, we're just focus on externally rotating and internally rotating our arm, just keeping it down by our side. And just feeling that rotation happening at the shoulder, not just through the elbow or the wrist. Continuing to coordinating your breath with the movement. Or at least making sure that you're inhaling and exhaling. Let's continue this, and then we'll bring the arm up to shoulder height. You can keep the arm more in front, or you can keep it in the plane of your body, whatever's working for you. Just kind of experiment where you might feel some more freedom or where you might notice some blocks. Use that information. And then if you're comfortable with it, raising that arm somewhere above the shoulder height. Same concept, you can bring it more in front or you can keep it in the plane of your body. Do 2 more on this level. Then we can bring that arm down, kind of shake it loose, and then we'll transition to the other side, starting low again. And as we do this, we're not allowing ourselves to compromise our position of our spine. We're just working our shoulder without contorting the rest of our body. Now let's bring that arm up to shoulder height like we did on the other side. Still breathing. And let's raise it up higher if you're able. Do 2 more of those there at that level, and then you can let your arm come down, shake it loose. Big arm circles working together now. So again, we're going to keep our palms facing back, standing with good vertical posture. Then we're just going to raise the arms up. And as we do so, we're trying to keep the shoulder blades at the same level. We're not allowing ourselves to shrug our shoulders. In that up position, then we're going to pull back as far as we can. And when we're in that position, then we'll bring the arms out and back and down. Again, trying to pull back as far as we can as we bring those arms down. Palms continue to face forward until we get to the bottom part. Then we'll rotate those shoulders so the arm or palms face behind us again. So we're at the start. Now we'll go in reverse. So we'll pull back with the palms facing back. Once we're at that furthest point back, rotate the shoulders externally and then begin to raise the arms out and up. Again, being mindful of what's happening with your shoulder blades. Once you're at the top, then you can bring those arms forward and down. And once we're at the start, then we'll repeat that whole thing one more time, starting forward and up again. Seeing if you can increase your range a little bit further the second time around. Still breathing. Once we get to that starting point, then we'll reverse it, pulling back. That furthest point, externally rotating the shoulders, and then begin to raise the arms out and up as we pull back. Good. And then forward and down, finish up. And shake everything loose. So doing a movement in the T-arm position. So the arms will look like this, and we're going to go from this position here to out. So out, back to in. We'll do it with the hands or palms facing down, then externally rotate so the palms are facing in, then externally rotating, palms facing up. So you can do this in the standing position, any of those, or in keeping that same arm orientation of your body, you can hinge forward. So you have the option of standing tall and doing this, or you can hinge to any angle you prefer, and then we'll do the movement for there. So we'll start with palms down. Find the position you want to be in. And when you're ready, begin the process of opening the arms out into the plane of the body and then returning back to the starting point. And then you can continue that at your own pace. Again, ideally what we're focusing on is what's happening in the shoulder blades at the level of the spine, where the shoulder blades are. Continue this movement and then rotate so the palms are facing toward one another. Just going to give it a little bit different feel in the back. And then rotate one more time so the palms are facing up. So this is a big external rotation through the shoulders. Let's do one more. And then if you are hinged, come up under control, let the arms down, shake it out. So keep our hips stationary. You can have your hands on your hips if you'd like. We're just going to rotate the shoulders over the top of the hips, alternating rotation in both directions, and experimenting where that transitional point occurs. Making those circles as small or as large as you'd like. One more time in each direction. Now we'll keep the shoulders stationary and we'll rotate the hips underneath the shoulders. Same concept. Big or little circles, transitioning at different points from one direction to the other. One more time to each direction. And then standing tall, we'll go to heel and toe rockers. Just trying to emphasize my feet here. So again, as high up onto your toes as you can, down under control, and then trying to pull those toes up off the floor as you can. Activating the front part of the legs as you do so. And trying not to let the hips sit back too far when you raise those toes up. We'll do two more of these. And then knees just above, or excuse me, hands just above the knees on the thighs, and we'll just rotate the knees around the same way we treated the shoulders and the hips. Big or little circles, alternating that transitional point. One more time to each direction. shaking it loose. And then pick one foot, bring that toe down and the heel up, and then we'll rotate the ankle. One more in each direction. And then we'll transition to the other foot. Same concept. One more in each direction. All right, if you need a drink, you can grab a drink. We'll begin with our sticks. So you can grab a stick as well. Again, for most of these, we're going to be applying pressure, either pressing to the center of the stick or pulling from the center of the stick. So I'll just give you a heads up on what we're doing with each of those. So as time goes on with all of these, you can adjust your hand position as well, how wide or narrow you want to be. So you might want to adjust for each of these movements to accommodate whatever's going on with you, because it will change how each one feels just a little bit. Okay. So we'll start with the side lean. And as we side lean, we're going to press to the center. So we want to make sure that our elbows aren't bent, but we're keeping them straight without hyperextending at the elbow or locking the elbow out. Okay. So we'll start in about 5 seconds here, pressing to the center and side leaning. In 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. So again, we're drawing those shoulders down with our arms up above our head, applying pressure to the center of the stick, and then seeing how much range you can get through your body as you lean from one side to the other. Twenty more seconds. Three, 2, and 1. Arms down, shake everything loose. It's a lot of tension to hold there, so just release that tension. Twist and cross, down will be next. So as I swing to my right, my left arm comes underneath or down. As I go to my left, my right arm comes down underneath. And we're going to pull from the center of the stick as we do that movement. We'll start in 5 seconds. Twist and cross down with a pull, and here we go. Again, we want to be active with the feet here. Look for something behind you to get your body to turn. Keep those shoulders drawn down, even though you're pulling from the center of the stick. About 20 more seconds. Three, 2, and 1. Again, give yourself a break. So the movement will just be raising the stick overhead and then back down. And as we do that, we're going to push to the center of the stick. So again, the range of motion is from here to this position here, just overhead. Pressing to the center as we do so. We'll start in 5 seconds. In 2, 1, here we go. So you go to speed that works for you, as long as you're pressing to the center and utilizing full range of motion. Make sure those shoulders are drawn down as you raise the stick up. "20 seconds left. "10 more seconds. Two, 1, and release, shake it loose. Next movement will be a propeller twist, so the middle of the stick stays at about collarbone height. And then we're just going to rotate that stick like so. And as we do that, we're going to try and pull from the center. Okay, so we're pulling from the center as we do that movement. We'll start in about 10 seconds. Again, watch your shoulder position. In 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Trying to keep the middle of the stick right on the midline of the body at the level of the collarbones, and then rotating from there. "20 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Shaking everything loose. So we'll neither pull nor press with the center of the stick. We're going to do hot-footed lizard touches. So it'll be front, front, behind, behind, standing in place, or you can walk about the space that you have, but just watch out for things around you when you're swinging that stick around, okay? We'll start in 5 seconds. 2 touches to the front and to the back. 2, 1, here we go. Trying to stay as tall as you can with your body. Halfway. "15 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Last one in this group, will keep the stick overhead, and we're going to pull from the center. What I'm going to do is I'm going to step forward. As I step forward with my right foot, I'm going to twist to the right. As I step forward with my left foot, I'm going to twist to the left. Okay, so same side twist as we pull from the center of the stick in an overhead position. Here we go in 3, 2, and 1. Step forward, twist in the same direction of that step, and then alternate side to side. Watch those shoulders. Big or small step, that's your choice. Keep breathing halfway. Keep that tension on the stick, pulling hard from the center. Trying to make that stick longer. 15 more seconds. Three, two, and one. You can place that stick off to the side, grab your drink if you want it. Okay, so we'll be using both a band like this, and handheld weights. So we'll kind of interchange those periodically here and there. The first movement will be with the handheld weights. We're going to have the arms up 90 degrees at the elbow, 90 degrees at the shoulder, in the plane of your body. And then we're just going to rotate internally and then rotating externally and trying to minimize or reduce any of this. We want to keep the wrist as straight as we can and engaging fully through the shoulders. You can go weightless with this if you need to based on your shoulder health. So just accommodate your needs as well as you can. We'll start in about 5 seconds here. In 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Mindful of those 3 points of contact through your spine. Chin is drawn in. Everything's happening through the shoulders. We're not arching our back at all to create range of motion. We're not craning our necks for range of motion. Really trying to make everything happen at the shoulders. "15 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1, and arms down. You can exchange your weight for a band. We're going to draw the bow alternately. So you can either do this forward where I'm pressing and pulling in this direction, or you can do it sideways. Okay, so either forward or to the side, your preference, or you can mix it up. We'll start in 5 seconds. In 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Make sure you have a straight arm to pull from, no matter which direction you're going in. One arm holds stability while the other arm pulls back. We're halfway. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. And we'll exchange the band for the handheld weights one more time. So it's going to be kind of like what we did in the warm-up with both arms. So we're going to keep the palms facing forward. We're going to pull back as far as we can. And then we're going to raise the arms up and back all the way to the top. When we get to the top, then we'll just reverse it to the beginning of position. Okay? We want to be focusing on pulling back as we raise and lower the arms as well. Palms always facing forward. We'll start in 5 seconds. In 2, 1, here we go. So again, pulling back as far as we can. When we're at that point, then we start to raise out and up. Once you're at the top, then we just reverse it, pulling back, and then reducing or lowering the weight. And again, just be in control of your pace no matter what it is. Try not to let the speed overwhelm you. "15 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. And weights down. We'll not be using weights for the next 3, so we'll either be using the band or nothing. Some of these movements will require a single leg balance. So if you want to use a band for the next one, it can go either around your ankles or around your feet. So we'll do this intentionally, one leg at a time. So it'll be balanced position where we're just going to side raise the other leg, minimizing how much touch balance we require from the opposite foot. Standing nice and tall. I see heads popping up. We'll get started again. Okay. We'll start in 5 seconds. Pick the foot you want to balance on. In 2, 1, and here we go. The leg that's being raised to the outside, you want to make sure that hip, knee, and toe are pointing straight ahead. We're not letting that leg rotate out. Really trying to make the outside of the hip do the work there. Keep breathing. "20 more seconds. 10 left. 3, 2, and 1. Shake everything loose. We'll repeat that same thing on the other side. We'll begin in 5 seconds. Get yourself organized. 2, 1. Here we go. Halfway. Keep breathing. 15 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Shake everything loose. So we're going to do gummy steps or high knee raise. So you're going to need your bands around your feet. So if it's around your ankles, switch that to around your feet now. And we're just going to alternately pick up our knees. Again, like we did with the hot-footed lizard touch. You can stay in place, or if you want to walk around your space, you can do that. We'll start in 5 seconds. Keep the body tall. 2, 1, and here we go. Keep breathing. We're halfway there. Three, 2, and 1. Woo! Shake it loose. Quote unquote, feel the burn. So I'll finish up this group with fast out and fast in. So we want the midline of our body to stay in the same spot. We're going to step out and out from the midline, then in and in toward the midline. Fast means you're trying to do the stepping cadence with good movement as fast as you can hold it. Okay? We'll start in 10 seconds. Take breaks if you need to, and then just resume when you're ready. We'll start in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. So try to keep that center line in the same position and just step away and to it as well as you can. Halfway. "15 more seconds. Minute never felt so long." Three, 2, and 1. Woohoo! Place that off to the side. Rest yourselves, grab a drink, and we'll resume with the handheld weights again. The first movement will be with the arms in a palms up position, both arms together. We're simply going to extend straight ahead. We're not leaning forward. We're not adjusting ourselves. We're trying to hold the 3 points of contact, extend out as far as we can, and again, without any of the shoulder shrugging that can be common when you get tired. If you don't have a heavy weight to use, you just slow your speed down to feel that tension. We'll start in 5 seconds. Anchor those feet. In 2, 1, and here we go. Halfway. "15 more seconds. Three, 2, and 1. Arms down, shake it loose. With the weight, we're going to swing and press. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press both arms together up When I get to the up position, they're just going to swing down to this position. Then I'll bring them in close to my body and then begin the process of pressing up again. And it just goes in this circular pattern. But we want to keep the weights close so we're not swinging out away from our body as we do the circular pattern. We'll start in 5 seconds. Again, go at a cadence that works for you. 2, 1, and here we go. That's it. So the palms kind of face in as we pull it up, then they rotate out at the shoulders before we press up again. So the palms face out through this position, then they rotate to face our body as we pull up, then they rotate out again at the shoulders and up. That's it. Halfway. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Okay, so arms at 90 degrees, the elbows are in tight. So it's like the door is on the hinges. We're just going to externally rotate as far as we can and then bring them in close. Opening the doors and then closing the doors. The key, though, is making sure that that elbow doesn't come away from your body. Keep it in close and keep the shoulders down rather than getting into this kind of motion, okay? We'll start in 5 seconds. In 2, 1, here we go. This is a real good time to really monitor your 3 points of contact as well. Feel your feet anchored into the floor, feeling your head rise to the ceiling, giving yourself a good door frame for those arms to swing out from. Three, 2, and 1. And arms down, shake it loose. So the next 3 will all be in a hinge or a bent over position. So you can do that as far over to parallel to the floor as you want, or you can do all of these in the standing upright position depending on your spine, okay? The first thing we're going to do is row. So it's kind of like we did with the press. So my palms will be up and I'm pulling back. Okay, so if I stay standing, it's just going to feel like the first thing we did. But if I get into a hinge position, I'm going to extend away from my body, keeping the same angle, and then pulling back from here. Okay, so I'm not letting the weight drop down straight to the floor. I'm pushing away from my body. So no matter where I'm at, that same orientation with my arm and my body remains, okay? So you decide how much of a hinge you want, and then we'll row from there with the arms in a palm up position, which means we're externally rotating the shoulders. All right, we'll start in 5 seconds. Find your orientation. In 2, 1, here we go. When you push out, that's when you're going to feel it through your body trying to hold that position. The further the weight goes, the more challenging it becomes. Keep those shoulders down and drawn back. $20 seconds left. 3, 2, and 1, and come up under control. Next one will be with the palms down, reverse flies. So it's kind of like what we did in the prep. It'll be this movement here if we're standing tall. So you can do it this way, or same concept as we just talked about before. If I'm going to be hinged, my palms are down, and I'm keeping that same angle no matter where my arms are. Okay? So it's going to be a challenge on your core or on your lower back to hold that position. So decide how much of a lean over you want to create for yourself. Okay? Find your position. We'll start in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Opening up into the plane of your body and then bringing it right back. 3 points of contact through your spine. Coordinate your breath with your movements. $20 more seconds. Three, 2, and 1. Last one in this group, we're going to do X arms. So again, we'll start and finish in this position. Then we'll open up at a diagonal, close, and then open up in the opposite diagonal. So if you're hinged, raising your arm up in that position with weight's going to feel extremely heavy. So be careful how much of an angle you're going to get. You don't compromise your spine or your shoulders to get your arm up and back, okay? So either standing or hinged, we'll go in 5 seconds. In 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Halfway. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. And up under control. Place that weight off to the side. Grab a drink if you want it. Okay, so we're going to cross the right leg over the left. Both feet are pointing as straight ahead as you can. And we're simply going to walk the fingers down the front leg as far as you comfortably can. And when you get to that bottom point, then just walk them right back up. Under control, we'll do that 2 more times at your pace. Again, no need to pause at the bottom point. We're just going to get to that low point and then walk your fingers right back up. Be intentional about walking those fingers. Keeping that leg crossed, we're going to bring the left arm out and across. I'm going to grab it and I'm going to pull myself to my right with the upper body, and then I'm going to turn my head to my left. Total pretzel twist here, standing up. Still breathing. Bring your head back to neutral. Release the arms, shake it loose, unfurl the legs, shake everything out. Catch your breath. This time we'll cross the left foot over the right. Again, pointing everything straight ahead. And as we did the first time, we're just going to walk those fingers down the front leg as far as you comfortably can, and then right back up. At your own pace, we'll do a total of 3 of these. And then when we're at the top, we'll bring that right arm out and across, and we'll hook it with our left hand. So we're trying to create a little bit of a twist now, and then we're going to turn our head to our right. Still breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Bring the head back to neutral. Then release the arms, shake it loose, unfurl the legs, shake them out. We're going to clasp the hands behind the back, and we're simply going to pull the hands together down. So we're trying to depress our shoulders, pulling down and back, trying to elongate our head, feeling our head rise to the ceiling, but we're not raising our chin. We're just raising our head, keeping those 3 points of contact intact. Still able to breathe as we do this. As we do this, now turn your head to your right, as far as you comfortably can. Back to neutral. Now turn to your left. Back to neutral. Now gently tilt your head to your right, facing your face forward. Just gently releasing the gravity. We're still trying to pull down on those shoulders. Head back to neutral, then over to your left. And back to neutral. Then release the fingers and release the hands, shake it loose. Spread your hands out as far as you comfortably can. Make them as wide and as separated as you can. Just holding my hands out like this, not exaggerating anything other than what's happening in my hands. Now I'm going to close and make a fist as tight as I can. Make that fist as tight as you can. And then open up again. It's like you can feel every joint extending on every single digit. And you can feel the palms spreading. You want to create as much separation as you can. And then squeeze and make a fist one more time. And then one last time, spread those hands out. And then release, shake it loose. Feet together, big inhale as you reach overhead. And with a big exhale, arms out and down. And I would say that's a good job, and we'll call that one done for the day.